morning, students. Myself Abhishek Sharma from Mount Litra Z School, Jhansi. As you know that we are on 7th chapter of class 11th economics. The name of chapter is production functions and returns to a factor. In my previous lecture, we have discussed about total product, marginal product and average product. We have defined these terms and we have done some sums based on this concept. Now today I have decided to discuss one of the most important law of this chapter and subject, that is law of variable proportion. As you are seeing it on my whiteboard, I have already mentioned it. So students, what is law of variable proportion? So first we discuss its definition. Law of variable proportion states that as more and more of the variable factor is combined with the fixed factor, marginal product of the variable factor may initially rises, but eventually a situation must come when marginal product of the variable factor starts declining. Marginal product may be ultimately become zero or even sometimes get negative. So students, the next point which are going to discuss that what are the causes for increasing return and diminishing return of a factor. So moving to the increasing return of a factor, there is fuller utilization of fixed factor. In the initial stage, fixed factors remains underutilized. Its fuller utilization calls for greater application of variable factor. Division of labor and increase in efficiency. Additional application of variable factor enables process-based division of labor. Third is better coordination between the factor. So long as fixed factor remains underutilized, additional application of the variable factor tends to improve the degree of coordination between the fixed and variable factor. Now students, what are the causes for diminishing returns to a factor? Basically there are three causes for the diminishing return to a factor, starting with first, fixity of the factor. Fixity of the factors is the principal cause behind the law of diminishing return. As more and more units of the variable factor are combined with the fixed factor, the latter gets excessively used. It suffers with greater wear and tear. Second, imperfect factor substitutability. Factor of production are imperfect substitute of each other. More and more labor cannot be continuously used in place of capital. Third is poor coordination between the factors. Increasing the application of the variable factor along with the fixed factor eventually disturbs the ideal factor ratio. This results in the poor coordination between the fixed and variable factor. Now the last point of this law is assumptions. What are the conditions that we should assume for discussing this law? The law of variable proportion is based on certain assumptions. These assumptions are as follows. Ratio in which factors of production are combined can be changed. Means you have full right to change the ratio of factors of production. Second, units of variable factor are homogeneous or equally efficient and are increased one by one. Thus, law of diminishing return set is not because later units of the variable factors are less efficient than the former ones. It sets in because the ideal factor ratio is disturbed or because the availability of the fixed factors like machine, plant, etc., which reduces per unit of the variable factor. Third and last is state of technology does not change. And in this law there are three stages. When in first stage MP is increasing, this stage is known as increasing return. In second stage MP is diminishing, this is called stage of diminishing return. And third and the last stage is when MP is negative, and this stage is known as negative returns. So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.